Hey Ornament Girls! So we have a couple of ornament patterns like this one, which are much easier to make if you've pre-marked your foam ball into 8 uneven segments. Usually I say 8 even segments, but some of them we use uneven segments. And here's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to shade the light a little bit. See how we've got 4 sections that are a little bit more narrow than the other 4 sections, which are wider. And of course we do offer these. These are our pre-marked foam balls when we're not fighting the global supply chain, of course. We try to have those available in our Ornament Girl shop. But guess what? We've also come up with a super easy way for you to mark your own 3-inch foam balls with those same uneven segments. And all you need is a plain 3-inch foam ball, something to write or score your foam ball with. So pen, pencil, butter knife, something like that. And one of these guys. This is a template which has been pre-marked with the sections that we're going to transfer to the foam ball. And we've made you a printable version of this. It's super easy and totally free. Just go to the link right below so that you can download it and then cut one of these strips out. Oh, and a quick tip about this. Make sure that you print this at full size. In other words, don't use the shrink to fit or fit to page options. After printing, you want this box to measure 1 inch. Like physically take a tape measure to this, make sure it measures 1 inch. That's how you know that your strip is going to fit a 3-inch foam ball. You're also gonna need just a couple of straight pins and a flexible tape measure. Alrighty, so on your foam ball, you're gonna see that you've got a mold line running around the center. We always call that the equator because it's dividing the 2 hemispheres. So we're gonna take this template and line it up alongside that mold line, and you can use a pin or 2 to help you hold this in place. And just wrap it all the way around until you come back to your starting point. If your foam ball is about 3 inches, they should pretty much meet at each other, the beginning and the end. And it's okay if they are not perfect. All of our lines that we use in our patterns are meant to just be guidelines. It's okay if they're off a hair. So now that this is in place, we're gonna go ahead and just draw some lines. A really quick tip here, if the fabrics that you're gonna be using for your ornament pattern are light in color, it's a good idea to skip the pen and instead use something to score your lines instead. And for that, you could use a butter knife or nail file, even your fingernail will work. Something that we like to use is our tucking tool because you can just sort of drag it alongside there and score your lines instead. Just so that you can see it really clearly, I'm gonna use a pen. Our paper template has lines already on it, which show us exactly where we're gonna be drawing lines on the ball. So all we need to do is follow that. And we're gonna begin right where the beginning and end of the template is by just making a little dash mark above and below that point. And then going in either direction along that template, do the same thing at each line on the template. Just transferring that line to the ball. Like that. And now we'll go ahead and remove those pins and take the template off. So we're done with the template. If your marks on the top and bottom of your ball are difficult to see, we call these the poles. You can do a little X at the top and bottom just to make them a little bit easier. And all we're gonna do now is connect each of those poles to the opposite pole through each of the lines that we made where the template lines were. So grab your tape measure and sit it one side of it right up alongside one of those poles and pin it into place, and then bring it straight down through one of those lines that you drew along the equator. And you can pin it there as well, and then bring it right down through the opposite pole. I'm gonna flip this over because I'm a lefty. Just kind of anchor this with your opposite thumb and then draw a line connecting the 2 poles right alongside your tape measure. There is line number 1. We're gonna do that along each of those sets of lines, starting at the pole, bringing it right down through the next set of dash marks along the equator, and then again through that opposite pole. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going. You'll see that the next section is gonna be one of those more narrow sections. And there you go. So now you can see that we've got 4 narrow sections and then 4 wider sections. I hope you found that easy peasy. Don't forget, you can get this download right below. Thanks so much for watching. Happy ornamenting.